If I say yes, whose blood will this river take first?
Blood has already been taken, child. I am only asking, who should be next?
My uncle deserves to die.
Deserve and destiny are not the same thing.
Night in the village felt heavier after a burial. The moon was pale above the tall palm trees. Crickets cried in the grass. From the big white house on the hill, music still played softly, but the laughter was gone. Emerald stood outside the gate barefoot, her green satin dress stained with red dust and tears. People had just finished pretending to comfort her. Her parents were gone. Car accident, they said. Bad road, they said. God knows best, they said. But Emerald had seen the way her uncle looked at the casket. No tears, just calculation. Uncle Dara stepped out of the house with 2 police officers. His gold wristwatch flashed. Emerald, he said softly. I'm sorry, my child. But your father had debts. The company. The house. Everything is under investigation. She felt her chest tighten. This is my home, she whispered. Not anymore, one of the officers said. Until we clear things up, you must leave. Darius folded his arms and looked away like he hated this. But his eyes were cold. He didn't even look at her when she was pushed toward the gate. Where do you want her to go? A maid asked quietly. Darius adjusted his watch. She is 17. She will survive. The streets raise people too. The gate slammed behind her. The music from the compound rose again. Slow, sorrowful high life. Emerald walked. She did not know where. Past the last streetlight. Past the small shops closing for the night. Past the children selling roasted corn. Her dress dragged in the dust. The wind played with her loose braids. Her tears dried, but the pain did not. By the time she reached the river, the sky had turned darker, like ink spilled across the world. The river outside the village was famous. Some called it the river that remembers. Some called it the deep mother. Tonight, it was just quiet. Emerald dropped to her knees at the bank. The water reflected the moon like cracked glass. Mama. Papa. Her voice broke. He killed you. I know it. I know it. She picked up a stone and threw it into the water. Hard, I hate him. She shouted. I wish the river would swallow him. Something moved. At first, she thought it was just a fish. Then the surface opened like a curtain, and a faint blue light shimmered beneath. Careful, a calm voice said from the dark. Emerald froze. A woman rose slowly from the river, as if the water itself was pushing her up. Her skin was the soft brown of wet sand. Her eyes glowed faint turquoise. Long black hair floated behind her, mixing with the ripples. From the waist up, she looked like a beautiful pregnant woman. From the waist down, there was no body, only water swirling, thick and heavy. Shaped like a tail, Emerald's heart jumped. A mermaid, she whispered. The stranger smiled gently. That is what humans call us when they are afraid and curious at the same time. Her voice was calm. Too calm. Emerald stood slowly, ready to run, but her legs felt weak. Don't fear, the woman said. If I wanted you, you would already be in the water. Her eyes dropped to Emerald's torn dress, her dusty feet, her empty hands. They took everything, the mermaid said quietly, as if she had watched the whole day. Didn't they? Emerald's eyes filled again. He killed them. My uncle. Then he threw me out like I'm trash. The mermaid tilted her head. This river remembers many things. Child. Blood. Secrets. Bargains. Emerald frowned. Who are you? The mermaid placed a hand on her round stomach. I am Nori. Last daughter of the drowned kingdom. And this child, she touched her belly, will be born into a broken covenant. The wind blew softly. Frogs croaked in the grass. Emerald wiped her face. Why are you talking to me? Nori looked at her with an expression that was both kind and dangerous. Because you are like me, she said. Cheated. Betrayed. Thrown away. And because this river heard your curse. Emerald's voice shook. I didn't curse. I just wished. For your uncle to be swallowed, Nori finished for her. Words spoken over moving water travel far. Nori stretched out a wet, glowing hand toward Emerald. You have nothing, she said. No home. No money. No one. But you have a name. And a wound. Wounds can become power, if you know how to bleed correctly. Emerald hesitated. Come into the water, Nori said softly. I will not drown you. I will take you in. Feed you. Train you. Show you how to make the river answer when you call. You can avenge your parents' death. The offer hung in the night like smoke. Emerald's heart raced. Her mind screamed danger, but her anger whispered yes. What do you want in return? She asked. Nori smiled slowly. Every power has a price, she said. The river does not give. It trades. When the time comes, you will spill the blood I point at. And you will not ask why. Emerald swallowed. Her uncle's face flashed in her mind. His smile at the funeral. His dry eyes, if I say no. She whispered. Nori's calm eyes turned sharp. For a moment, the water around her darkened. Then you walk back to the street, she said. You beg. You suffer. You watch your uncle grow richer on stolen blood. And when you die, he will not even remember your name. Emerald's hands shook. She looked at the silent sky. Then at the cold water. Then at Nori's outstretched hand. She stepped forward. The river washed over her ankles like icy fingers. Then her knees. Then her waist. Her heart hammered. Nori's hand closed over hers. It was warm. Say your vow, Nori whispered. Emerald's voice was barely a breath. Emerald, she said, bind my life to this river. I accept the power to avenge my parents' death. I accept the price. Even if I don't know it. The water around them glowed deep blue. Nori pulled her close and murmured into her ear. Remember, child, she said. You did not find the river. The river chose you. The water rose like a wall and swallowed them both.
Emerald, you're scaring me. People are drowning in dry places.
I didn't touch them.
Then why does every death lead back to your uncle?
Because the river has started collecting its debt.
3 years later, the village river felt like a dream someone else had. Emerald walked through the city, past blaring horns and downfall buses, past street vendors shouting prices, past tall buildings made of glass and steel that reflected the burn of the afternoon sun. She was no longer the girl in a torn satin dress. Her hair was braided cleanly, long and dark. Her eyes carried something cold and old, as if she had seen storms at the bottom of the sea. She wore a simple black top and jeans, and a green beaded bracelet on her wrist. The bracelet hummed softly when water was near. Nori had kept her promise. She had taken Emerald under the river. She had fed her, clothed her, trained her. Emerald had learned to breathe underwater. To hear whispers in currents. To see faces in ripples. To call rain. To steal it, but Nori had also given rules. Never reveal our world, she had said. Never save a life the river has already chosen. And when I call for blood, you must obey. Now, in the city, Emerald walked in a small riverside restaurant. It stood near a dirty canal that led back, somehow, to the deeper part of Nori's realm. The owner believed Emerald brought him luck. After all, whenever business was slow and bills piled up, rain would fall gently, pulling in customers looking for shelter and food. Only one person in the city knew a piece of her story, Kola. He was a slim young man with kind eyes and oil-stained hands. He worked as a mechanic nearby and came to eat almost every day. Over time, friendship grew between them. Then something softer, something that scared them both. Kola knew she had no family. He knew she had been thrown out, but he did not know about Nori or the river's vow. he had his own secret. He was once a driver. One rainy night years ago, he had driven a car that never reached its destination, and guilt, like a ghost, had lived in his chest ever since. One evening, as the sun melted into orange behind the skyline, Emerald wiped tables while Kola sat at a corner with a plate of jollof rice he had barely touched. "You're not eating," she said. "I'm thinking," he replied. "About what?" He hesitated. "About death." Emerald's hand paused. Kola lowered his voice. "Have you seen the news? Another executive drowned. In his own bathtub. No water in the house. Yet he drowned." Emerald swallowed. "People die every day in this city." "Not like this," Kola said. He pulled out his phone, showing her headlines. "Look, 3 men in the same company. All investors. All close to one man." Emerald froze when she saw the name, Darius Okafor. Her uncle, he was now a famous real estate mogul in the city. His smile was all over billboards and charity events. Nori's voice echoed in Emerald's memory. "Blood. Secrets. Bargains." Kola washed her face. "You know him." Emerald forced her voice to stay flat. "Everybody knows him. He's rich. But why are his people dying?" Kola whispered. "Drowned in places where there was no water. One man choked in an elevator. They said he died of heart failure, but witnesses saw water spill from his mouth." A cold chill moved through Emerald's spine. At night, when she slept, she had started seeing things: men gasping for breath, rooms filling with water that vanished in seconds, and Nori watching quietly with unreadable eyes. "Leave their problems for them," Emerald said, turning away. "Rich people die in rich ways." But her bracelet hummed softly. That night, she went alone to the old canal behind the restaurant. The city sounds faded. The water surface flickered with weak streetlights. "Nori," she whispered. "I know you can hear me." The water trembled. Nori rose slowly from the dark, looking exactly as she had on the night they met, calm, glowing, pregnant. But her eyes were sharper now. "You called," Nori said. Emerald crossed her arms. "Those men. The ones dying around my uncle. Was that you?" Nori's lips curved slightly. "The river remembers deaths. When a man kills his own blood for wealth, the water follows his line." Emerald's chest tightened. "So you're killing everyone near him?" "I am balancing the scale," Nori said. "Every contract has fine print." Emerald clenched her fist. "Then tell me what my part is," she said. "You gave me power. You made me vow. But I'm just watching death on TV." Nori's calm expression shifted. "Your time is coming. The river does not rush." "What is the price, Nori?" Emerald insisted. "You never say it clearly." Nori's hand slid over her round belly. "Some prices are born, not paid." Before Emerald could ask what that meant, footsteps sounded behind her. She turned. Kola stood there, eyes wide. "Emerald." He whispered. "Who are you talking to?" He could not see Nori fully, but the air around the canal felt heavy. His shirt clung to his skin with sudden dampness. Emerald stepped back, panic rising. "You should go." Kola walked closer instead. "Every time something strange happens with water," he said slowly, "you are there. Rain falls when you want. Lives end. And now you're out here, by a canal, talking to the air." Nori's voice brushed Emerald's ear. "He is too close," she said. "Push him away. Or the river will decide." Emerald's heart pounded. "Go, Kola," she snapped. "You don't understand anything." Something broke in his eyes. "You think I don't know about guilt?" he said bitterly. "I drove a car once. With a rich couple in the back. They never reached home. I keep seeing their daughter's face in my dreams. 17. I never saw her again. The sound of the city faded. Emerald stared at him, her whole body cold. What did you say? She whispered. Kola swallowed. It was your uncle's car. He made me lie about the brakes. Paid me to keep quiet. I've tried to find the girl since then, but she disappeared. Sometimes I think she's dead and haunting me. The canal water rose slightly, reacting to Emerald's shock. Nori's whisper cut through the night. There, she said softly. Do you see it now? Guilt. Secrets. Blood. All roads run back to the same man. Emerald's vision blurred. Kola stepped toward her. Emerald, please. Whatever you're mixed up in, let me help you. I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of carrying this alone. Her heart twisted. He had been part of her parents' death dot, and yet he was also the only person who had ever stayed with her after. Behind her, the canal bubbled. Nori watched with dangerous calm. Choose wisely, Nori murmured. The river has waited long enough. Emerald, standing between Kola and the water, realizing that the partner she cares for is tied to her parents' death, and the stranger in the river is ready to collect.
Tonight, justice walks on two legs, you and me. If justice needs innocent blood, then it is not justice.
If you must kill someone, let it be me.
Careful, child. The river loves such offers.
Storm clouds gathered over the city like bruises. Emerald stood on a pedestrian bridge, looking down at the rushing cars below and the dark canal beside them. Her bracelet burned cold against her skin. She had not spoken to Kola for 3 days. He had confessed everything that night, how Uncle Deros paid him, how he knew the brakes were bad, how he drove anyway because his own family was starving. I thought I could fix it later, he had cried. I told myself they would be fine. I was wrong. Emerald had walked away from him, from his tears, from his shaking hands. Now, Nori's voice followed her everywhere. In dripping taps. In potholes filled with rain. In her dreams, it is time. Nori had said. Your uncle's company is launching a new estate by the water. He will be there tonight. You will go. You will call the river. We will end this. Emerald knew she could flood the whole place. She could drown Deros and every corrupt man standing beside him. The power in her body waited like a coiled snake, but Kola's face would not leave her mind. He had been weak. Greedy. Afraid. Like many humans, but he was also trying to confess. Trying to change. Trying to carry what he had done. Could the river understand that kind of pain? As night fell, Emerald made her way to the new waterfront estate, a luxury development built on stolen land, fronted by stolen money. Bright lights. Loud music. Cameras everywhere. The river lay behind it all, black and silent, like a patient beast. Uncle Deros stood on stage in a crisp white abboda, smiling into microphones. Tonight, he said, we open a new chapter of hope and prosperity. Emerald stood at the back of the crowd, hood up, head down, her bracelet pulsed faster. At the water's edge, where the guests couldn't see, the surface stirred. Nori rose, invisible to most eyes, her glow hidden behind shadows. It is time, she whispered. Emerald's heart pounded. If I do this, she said under her breath, what happens to everyone else here? Nori's tone was soft, but hard beneath. All who stand under the umbrella of a wicked man are wet when judgment falls. Emerald thought of waiters. Drivers. Cleaners. People who just needed a job. This is not justice, she said. This is a flood. Nori's eyes darkened. You swore a vow at 17. The river saved you, raised you, trained you. You exist now because of blood and water. Do not pretend to be pure. Lightning flashed in the sky. Suddenly, a hand grabbed Emerald's wrist. She spun. Kola stood there, soaked from the rain that had started to fall. His eyes were desperate. I knew you would come. He said. Emerald, please. Don't do whatever you're about to do. You shouldn't be here, she hissed. This is not your fight. Yes, it is. He shouted over the wind. Your uncle killed your parents, but I helped him. I drove that car. I shut my mouth. Every night I hear the crash. I see their faces. I didn't come to stop you because I think he should leave. I came because I don't want you to become like him. Rain began to pound the glass buildings. The river swelled, Nori rose higher, her shape becoming clearer. To Kola, she was just a strange distortion in the air, a feeling of cold fingers on his neck. The mermaid looked at him with a hungry curiosity. "Oh," she said softly. "The driver." Kola shivered. Who is talking?" Emerald ignored his fear. She stared at Nori. "You knew," Emerald said. "You knew he was the driver all along." "I know many things," Nori replied. "He is a thread in the same cloth. Pull him, and your uncle unravels. Kill him, and the river's curse tightens." Kola's voice broke. "If my death will free you, Emerald. If it will bring peace. I won't run." The river roared louder. Hearing his offering, Nori smiled slowly. "Listen to him. He volunteers. How convenient." Emerald's pulse raced. Power climbed up her arms, begging to be released. One gesture, and water would rise around Kola's neck. One thought, and Darius would choke on the stage. "Do it," Nori whispered. "Let the river feed." Emerald looked at Kola, soaked, shaking, but standing. Her mind flashed back to herself at 17. Barefoot. Alone. No one choosing her. No one standing for her. This was her moment, not to repeat the past, but to break it. She stepped between Kola and the river. "No," she said. Nori's eyes narrowed. "What did you say?" "I said no," Emerald repeated, louder. "I promised to avenge my parents. I did not promise to become a weapon you fire at anyone you choose." Nori's glow turned cold. "You are alive because of me," she hissed. "You breathe because the river allowed it. Without us, you are nothing." Emerald lifted her hand. The rain around them paused in midair, every drop hanging like glass. The crowd at the event started screaming as water stopped in front of their faces. Cameras flashed wildly. Darius looked up in terror, his speech breaking off. Emerald's voice carried over the chaos. "I am Emerald," she said. "Daughter of the house you ruined. Child of the river that raised me. I will decide what justice looks like." She turned to Kola. "You will not die tonight," she said. "You will live. And you will confess everything. To the police. To the press. To the world. You will spend your life cleaning the stain you helped create." Kola nodded, tears mixing with the floating raindrops. "I will. I swear." Emerald faced the stage. Darius stared at the frozen rain, his face pale. "Uncle." He shouted, his eyes locked on hers. "Recognition. Fear, you stole my parents' company," Emerald said. "You killed them. You bought silence. But even water talks." She opened her second hand. The river behind the estate rose, not as a wild flood, but as a narrow, fierce column, like a living rope of water. It snaked past the frozen guest and wrapped around Darius alone. He screamed as it lifted him off the stage, spinning him above the terrified crowd. Nori watched, eyes burning. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes. Give him to me." Emerald's teeth clenched. This was the moment. She could let the river tear him apart, drag him down, end it in blood, but then she remembered her mother's voice. Soft, gentle. "Justice is not revenge, my love. Justice is when truth stands in the open and cannot be denied." Emerald lowered her hand slightly. The water rope tightened, but did not drown him. Instead, it pressed him hard, squeezing out words like air. Darius gasped, choking. I killed them. I paid the driver. I took the company. Forgive me." Phones recorded. Cameras streamed. The city watched. Emerald's voice was steady. There is your confession. Let the law handle the rest. She released her fist. The water rope dropped Darius onto the stage. He crashed to the floor, gasping, soaked, humiliated, alive. The rain fell again, no more, soaking everyone. Police officers in the crowd moved forward, faces grim. People shouted. Some pointed. Some cried, yells of arrest him. Filled the air. By the river, Nori's face twisted in fury. You cheated the vow, she hissed. I asked for blood. Emerald faced her, tired but firm. You said the river trades, she answered. Take his power instead. Take his pride. Take his freedom. Let him rot in a human prison. Let his name taste like mud in every mouth. Nori glared at her for a long moment, then something strange happened. She laughed, unexpected, she said softly. You broke the pattern. You turned my curse into a different kind of judgment. Perhaps. That is why the river chose you. Her glowing hand moved to her belly. The storm around them softened. The child I carry, Nori said, was meant to be born into a covenant of blood only. Tonight, you added mercy. The river will remember that. Emerald's eyes widened. What does that mean? It means, Nori said, that not every story that begins in blood must end in it. With that, she sank back into the dark, the surface closing quietly over her head. The canal became just water again. Emerald stood there, shaking, as sirens wailed in the distance and the noise of the estate event turned into chaos. Kola touched her arm gently. You could have killed him, he whispered. I know, she said. You could have killed me, he added. I know, she repeated, voice breaking. He looked at her with something like awe and shame mixed together. What now? He asked. Emerald looked at the restless river, then at the mess of lights and police cars and crying guests. Now, she said softly. Now we do something harder than revenge. We tell the truth. We live with it. We rebuild from it. He nodded. They walked away from the estate, side by side, rain washing the dust from their feet. The river flowed on, silent and watchful. Revenge may satisfy pain for a moment, but true justice demands courage, truth, and mercy. If you let hatred lead you, you become like the people who hurt you. Real power is choosing to break the cycle, not repeat it.